What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking all the week's movie news, entertainment news, and just generally having a bit of a chit-chat about everything to do with film. I am joined as always by my best man, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, how's it going?
Good, Conor, riddled with hay fever. I was grand before we started recording, and now I'm fighting a sneeze almost immediately. Is
there some sort of flower in your microphone, or is it some sort of, like, self-harm situation?
Well, I did a line of pollen earlier just to see what would happen. Hasn't helped, it turns out.
So Shaun's recording this from a bed of flowers.
I'm in an arboretum right now, actually.
They said it couldn't be done. I said, yeah, fair enough.
It said to be terrible for the audio quality. I said, stuff up my nose, please.
So, Shaun, we were unable to record last week, so we have missed out on a few things. But look, everyone got to listen to a lovely Constantine review that was from over on our Patreon. That's kind of just like a little bit of a preview of all the different movie reviews over there. So it actually I thought it was nice. It was a bit of an old classic, because we love Constantine.
Yeah, it's a sleeper hit of 2005, I think we can agree.
So, Shaun, if this is somebody's first episode, we don't need them to do anything, really. We can just kind of get you to chill out. But if it is your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share, whatever way you can support the show. 5 stars on Spotify would be absolutely amazing. If you haven't done that yet, and if you don't know anyone, maybe a loved one, maybe a family member, we're trying to get those numbers up before the summer solstice. And Shaun, that's super close right now.
It's actually very, very close. It's nearly as close as it can be without actually being the solstice.
it's the last week. And we said 150 by the summer solstice. We've already passed that weeks ago.
Smash through it.
I mean, we could go for 160 before the summer solstice.
Conor, Surely the people wouldn't get us to 160 that quick.
So, Shaun, I think we got a pretty jam-packed week this week, so let's just get into some news. And we do have to talk about that trailer that came out last week for Superman.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to not watch it, because I'm already sold. It's one of those where, I'm in. You don't need to sell me anymore.
Yeah. You're just telling me, you're showing me things I would rather see on the big screen.
Exactly. But I said we should probably have a little bit of a chat about it. Just a brief overview just to see how you feel. Because I assume, Shaun, you still want to watch the movie after watching the trailer?
Yeah, it looks real good. Real excited for it.
Good stuff.
Back to you.
But I do want to start movie news this week with a different piece of DC news, because James Gunn, I feel like, now that he has Superman out the way, I think he's quietly confident that it's going to bang, and now he's just kind of just chatting shit about other things, because he's just like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, now we can just make stuff work. Because also he finished Superman early and watched it and was like, no, this is done. I'm happy with this.
This is good.
Class. Unreal. More of this, please.
Well, now we have apparently been confirmed that a Wonder Woman movie is officially in the works at DC Studios. Now, this, of course, would be a brand new Wonder Woman, brand new concept, brand new thing being brought in to probably join the Superman, Justice League kind of thing. So... Mm-hmm. How do you feel about a Wonder Woman movie? Is it too soon since the last one? But I suppose Superman is also, I don't know, Batman vs Superman is 2016?
Yeah, so I'd say they're within a believable time frame of each other. And I think once the DCU kind of gets going and people start going to see the movies, they're just going to want to see interpretations of the characters in those worlds. And also, the last Wonder Woman movie was not good. So people will like to see a good Wonder Woman movie, I would say.
The first Wonder Woman movie is better than it has any right to be. Quite good for 2/3 of it.
Falls off a cliff in the last act there, but...
really, really good movie for the first hour and a half. I was like, fuck, this is great.
Yeah.
Then it does, it's not great.
It just kind of treads water for the rest of the existence of the film.
But I think it's good that they're doing a new Wonder Woman, because I feel like the the discourse around Gal Gadot in terms of, like, I think that character kind of ran its course, like, especially when like she showed up in The Flash, and I was like, okay, well, once you're in The Flash and you're infected by Ezra Miller's Flash,
yeah, I think you need a bit of a detox after that.
Ezra just destroys everything in their path. So, I mean, it's interesting. Who do you cast in this role is obviously the big question.
True. Cast someone who could act, I would say.
Bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off. Go on.
I did see one name thrown around and I really fucking like it. And I don't know if her character will be showing up in Marvel anytime soon.
Okay.
Which is May Calamawy. I'm probably butchering her name, but she is the Scarab in Moon Knight.
Right, yes. She's meant to be in she's meant to be in Gladiator 2. Or she was, yes. But they cut all of her scenes.
They cut her out hardcore.
Cool.
So she's presumably done some fight training as well. So I think she'd be a great Wonder Woman. I just saw that casting and I was like, yeah, no, if it was that, I'd be happy. There's
some really, really good options that, like, you could go through the gambit of weirdly, the woman who's playing Hawkgirl. She's in The Last of Us. Isabel.
Yeah.
Merced. I'm butchering her name, but she's really excellent. And if she wasn't Hawkgirl, I'd be like, oh, you should get her in. But then, do you go like for someone who's 6'1", or do you go for like someone who's tiny?
Do you what about a Dakota Johnson, perhaps? You know,
bring Dakota in. She'd have an air of I don't want to be here that really I think would sing to the character what it is.
Yeah, which you know, continuing the trend of Wonder Woman being played by someone who doesn't want to be Wonder Woman.
I think it probably needed a few years, but they're doing like Superman and Supergirl back to back. That's obviously already locked in. Millie Alcock is playing Supergirl, so you now have Wonder Woman. The Batman thing is still up in the air. It's weird. No, I'm not doing a bit. I'm not doing a bit on the Batman, Shaun. Your eyes lit up. I'm saying like James Gunn's Batman.
Yes. James Gunn's Batman by Anthony Muschietti was the original writer of that, and presumably still is. That's stalled a bit, it seems. I think it's confusing. I think it's a confusing situation because I think a lot of people, like to me personally, I'm just like, oh well, obviously it just makes way more sense to just put Robert Pattinson's Batman in there, and then it just like seamlessly goes together. You imagine Pattinson with David Cornswell's with Superman. Yeah, I believe it. And also you can just have it like they can still be fairly separate. Like the fact that Superman is never mentioned in The Batman is fine at that point. Because Gotham is just kind of left on its own as this weird, horrible place in the comics a lot of the time.
It's true. Just a real weird, smelly place that nobody
no
wants
one
to
likes
go.
it. Everyone's sad, you know.
I think it's good straight out the gate. Superman, Supergirl, Wonder Woman. Buy out like get the Trinity out of the way as early as possible, and then you do the Justice League movie coming together. I don't know if it's weird because the DC universe, because there's been so many stops and starts, it just makes it harder to like get excited about this stuff because we already had it like 2 years ago. Yeah, I don't know, the excitement of announcing, hey, we're doing this character. It's like, okay, they're going to try and do that. Yeah. Will it pan out? We've seen it go wrong in the last 5 to 10 years, multiple times. Batgirl was made. Never released. There's a whole Batgirl movie that is never going to be seen. Which is insane. So when they say now, oh, we're doing a Batgirl movie, you're like, well, hang on. You did, didn't you, already? Michael Keaton was there. What I will say, and we might get into this more in Superman trailer talk, but what we've seen so far, it looks like a fairly fleshed out, lived in world already. Like, I don't think Superman's going to be the first. Superman's not the first hero in this world. Well, you also the thing with Wonder Woman is the cheat code is that she's off away on the island trading. that she's just not seen until she needs to be seen. If you want to bring her into the movies.
And you have her, you do her whole origin story. You know, we love seeing a Wonder Woman origin. She meets a handsome... Bring Chris Pine back, why not? He did well.
Bring everybody back but Gal.
Yeah, and just pick up where that story left off.
Even Pedro Pascal shows back up.
As Maxwell Lord, even though there's a new Maxwell Lord.
I think, obviously, if you're going to do any DC movies, just do the Holy Trinity. Start off, keep it basic. It's basic, but it's obvious for a reason. Sometimes the most obvious route is the best route. Just be like, okay, we're going to start a DC universe. Well, we got to do Superman, then Wonder Woman, then Batman. And as long as those three are there, and then we can do a team-up movie, everybody's laughing.
Yeah, and like there's a reason those characters have stuck around for so long. Like in comics and in the public eye, is that they just work and they all play off each other very, very well.
They also are doing the Lantern show as well, so I mean, like the Justice League is kind of coming together. Especially like you have obviously there's a different team in the Superman movie that you can kind of incorporate in if they want to do that. Justice Society, Justice League, whatever they want to do. But I mean, it's good. It's a good thing, but simultaneously, it's one of those, like we did with the Superman thing, just show me the first trailer, and then I'll get a vibe of if I like it or not.
Yeah. Like, make something, just sell me on it, and then just trust that it's going to be good.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Don't try and beat it down my throat at all.
But so, Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news, and this piece of news really stood out to me because Robert Eggers, who you are obviously a big fan of, myself included. Big fan. Recently did, Nosferatu, did The Northman, did the Lighthouse.
The Vavitch.
The Vavitch. So, did lots of stuff. Loves a horror element, kind of, just... He reminds me of like Guillermo del Toro, where like, if he's involved, it's going to be weird, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have a certain style and a certain vision that, like, whether you like it or not, that's up to you, but it will be consistent.
Well, Shaun, what about if I told you Robert Eggers is to write and direct A Christmas Carol for the Warner Brothers?
I mean, yeah, give it, but like weird, fucked up ghosts.
Willem Dafoe is set to play.
Of course.
Scrooge.
It's Scrooge, right? He's going to be Scrooge.
Of course, he's playing Scrooge. Yeah. No, he's playing Kermit.
That's pretty good. No, that rocks. That's all I want, I think.
Now, here's the thing, Shaun. I knew you were going to like this, but I knew I was going to come in the opposite way, because I think that doing a Christmas Carol movie is pointless, and a pointless endeavour. It's already been done. I mean, the best one has already been done.
Of course. But a different one could be done, Conor.
No, but if you tell me, a Christmas Carol movie is coming out, but there's no Muppets in it, well then what is the point of your movie? Because what you've done is going to be worse. I know Robert Eggers is a talented man, but is he coming close to 1994's A Christmas Carol with the Muppets?
Conor, brother, you're not thinking big enough here. Because come Christmas time, some confused, slightly hungover parents are gonna put on the wrong Christmas Carol for their kids.
You're gonna remember the Christmas movie from their childhood. I mean, like, here it is, Christmas Carol. Was Willem Dafoe in this one? Because he's looked the same for 50 years. So it's like, maybe he was. Was it Michael Caine or Willem Dafoe? I think it was Willem Dafoe.
I thought there was more songs, personally.
When the ghosts are showing up and just like are haunting, like so disgusted looking.
Yeah, like I think that's what I'm really excited for. Is some fucked up Robert Eggers ghost designs. I read this and there's a part of me that's like, no, why would you do that? But also I respect it. I respect Robert Eggers being like, I'll do a Christmas Carol. I'll do the fucking most fucked up Christmas Carol you've ever seen. Yeah, the studio wants me to do it. I'll do it. For sure.
What about, and hear me out, one Muppet. Just one. And then
Which one?
Fozzie, maybe. Who could we?
Rizzo?
Maybe Rizzo. I think Rizzo should tell the story.
I mean, that could work, but Rizzo is played by Robert Pattinson.
Yes. Well, no, he doesn't have time, Shaun. He's doing the Batman too.
Maybe around Christmas time though he might be free. You know.
I read something really funny, or I see a really funny picture. It was Tiny Tim, and this is in Robert Eggers' version, who definitely died.
Tiny Tim, who was fucking murdered,
butchered to death. So he was
painful. Oh yeah, that's going to be real sad. The Tiny Tim, the poverty house that they live in.
Oh, they're going to make it so sad. But I mean, at the end of the day, we can all agree Muppets Christmas Carol is the greatest movie ever made. So if you want to factor that in, it's tough.
You said the Batman was the greatest movie ever
made.
Yeah,
but depends what time of the year it is.
You said The Incredibles was the greatest movie ever made.
I've had a lot of opinions, wild opinions.
You said My Cousin Vinny.
I actually will stand by that.
Yeah, no, fair. That's pretty good.
My Cousin Vinny slaps big time. I have such a weird collection of my top 10 movies are just the most random fucking movies.
Yeah, I need to get you on Letterboxd because I just need to know what you think about things.
My Cousin Vinny, The Fall Guy, The Batman, The Incredibles, Muppets Christmas Carol.
These are the only 5 movies I respect.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And Ghostbusters, the women version.
That's what I call it. People look at me weird, Shaun, but that's what I call it.
That's what I call it, you know?
me on Letterboxd just with the women's version.
Do you know the only Ghostbusters movie I've seen all the way through is Ghostbusters The Frozen Empire?
Which one is that one? Is the second one?
The newest one with Paul Rudd.
Is that Paul Rudd's second or third one?
Second one, I think.
Second one, okay, with Fane Wolfhard.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the only one you've seen all the way through.
It's the only one I've seen, and I was watching it, and they were making little references and stuff, and I'm like,
how
that probably
have you never
makes
seen
sense.
The first Ghostbusters?
I've seen bits. I've never sat down to watch it.
That is so weird. It's always on. It was on Comedy Central every day for 10 years.
But it was always I'd turn on and it was 50 minutes in. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to jump in now.
So you've seen all of the scenes, but just in the wrong order, and you're kind of putting them together. Yeah,
and I've kind of seen it referenced in other things enough. Same with The Lion King. I know what goes on.
See, you're weird. Who hasn't seen Lion King and Ghostbusters? Just watch the two of them.
I've seen Lion King 2, Simba's Pride.
Once again, that's even weirder. So you've seen is that the 5th Ghostbusters movie and the 2nd Lion King movie?
Yeah, and that's all I need of either of those franchises.
I get the gist.
I know what's going on here.
There's some ghosts to be busted, and the other one has fucking ghosts.
Yeah, then a lion, and he can't wait to be king. You know?
So, are you excited about Robert Eggers' A Christmas Carol?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I wonder when it's going to come out.
I'm very against it. I think it's a terrible idea, and I don't want to see it.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree, won't we, Mr. Lawler?
I like how Robert Eggers is one of the most talented people working. I'm like, no, I don't care who you get in. It's just, what's the point?
Don't you're like, oh my god, this one's way better. We should just watch the Muppets one all the time. And I'm like, holy shit, 2 cakes.
Yeah. You're like, think of all the cake I can eat.
Yeah.
Depends on your mood. Are you in a joyful, happy mood, or are you in
Never.
let's watch some fucked up shit.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Shaun, speaking of shit, Spaceballs 2 is being released in 2027. Officially news this week. Mel Brooks, Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement, and Bill Pullman set to return for Spaceballs 2. I mean, interesting is a word I would use describing this.
Wild choice, I would say.
It's Josh Gad is there. It's going to have several other people working. Deadline has said that hype levels are through the roof. Right?
With whom are the hype levels through the roof?
So, here's the thing. I like Spaceballs. Spaceballs is a classic movie.
Yeah.
Right? It's a classic 80s,
parody spoof.
Yeah, parody movie. And I'm going to say something, Shaun, and I feel like definitely somebody has said this, somebody way smarter than me, or somebody who's up their own hole. But Shaun, what kind of a Star Wars parody can there be if Star Wars is already a parody of itself?
Connor, what are we? What is the... Oh, my God.
I felt dirty saying it, but that just...
Yeah. I might edit that out, because that was awful.
That was the first thought I've ever had.
That really? Yeah. Never think again, please.
No, imagine thinking me is just a dickhead.
He is
Not
an
thinking me
snob.
dickhead, but dickhead thinking me worse.
Yeah, somehow is even more of an arsehole.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is... First of all, I want to know how much money they paid Rick Moranis to do this.
Oh, I mean, he didn't even come back for Ghostbusters, by the way. Your weird fucking...
Yeah.
Was it Frozen in Time or whatever it's
Frozen
called?
Empire, Conor.
Frozen Empire. I mean, he didn't even come back for that. So the amount of money must be unholy that they've given that man.
Yeah. Like, he can just, like, retire and leave it all to his kids again.
At least once a week he gets an email about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids again.
Yeah, has to. But he chooses to come back for Spaceballs.
This will be written by Josh Gad and the Detective Pikachu duo Benji Smith and Dan Hernandez. And I mean, Josh Gad has described it as the funniest and the best thing he's ever worked on.
Some shade to Josh Gad, but I don't think that's a hard bar to cross. I also I think my issue with this is that it's going to be made by people who were influenced by Spaceballs.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to have less heart, and it's going to come from a place of, hey, this was funny in the first one. Not, hey, let's parody Star Wars, Star Trek, all this kind of stuff.
It's interesting because the first Spaceballs comes out. Star Wars is the biggest movie in the world, right?
Yeah.
And so you get to do a parody of the biggest movie in the world, and your parody makes loads of money and people like it because the first movie is so famous. But there was only... When did Spaceballs, the first one, come out? Maybe 87?
1987. How do you pull this every time?
It was in 87, and so like the three of them had already come out. So you have the original trilogy, biggest trilogy of all time. It's gangbusters, right?
Yeah.
So you do the movie that's based off that. Everyone's having a laugh. It's great crack. But nowadays we get a new Star Wars thing, I would say, every second week that half the people don't like and half the people are like, there's too many women. so like, it's interesting that we're doing a parody on something that nowadays people are like, oh god, another Star Wars thing. Oh fuck.
Yeah, and then you lean into like the meta commentary that, oh, there's too many of these things, or
yeah.
Like,
because, I mean, the only way you do it is if you're going to do a parody on Andor, the one good thing from Star Wars.
Yeah. So, I'm not sure this can work. Because also, and I should have said this in the report because it was something I was thinking of. I think The Fall Guy is closer to a parody movie than some of the parody movies now are. Does that make sense?
Are you saying that in a good way or a bad way?
Brackets
Because you could have to end up
complimentary.
fighting here.
It's complimentary, Conor.
Okay.
What I mean is, it's something that understands the tropes, and then the fact that they're playing into the tropes is what's funny.
Yeah. Because I'm going to say something right now to you.
Yeah.
How do you parody Episode 9?
Because that is... like, that is... That's what a space episode 9 is. What a Spaceball sequel is if it took itself seriously.
Like, how do you parody a movie that people universally think is not good?
And I guess it might do like Star Wars 7, 8, 9, condense all of that and parody that, like the old master. Because I think Lewis Pullman is in the new one.
Lewis
as well.
is also made in this. Yeah, Bill and Lewis are both in it.
So I could see it being like, I'm going to go find my dad, and like the dad, then like Bill Pullman is like the old Luke Skywalker type figure. Like,
yeah,
you know.
I read this and I was like, look lads, fair fucks to yous. That's bravery for even thinking about doing this. Because I mean, how old is Mel Brooks, by the way? I mean,
Mel Brooks. Let me get him up here. He's not young.
101?
98 years old.
Holy shit, Mel. Do you know what this is? This is Mel being like, I'm on the way out, but the grandchildren need just a little bit, just a little bit more. So I have no need for this. I'm a millionaire.
Like, June 28 as well as his birthday. What the fuck? What are you doing? Like, the man was a corporal in World War II, for God's sake.
He's seen shit.
So,
can you imagine, by the way, I just thought of this can you imagine Mel Brooks watching episode 9? Like,
no.
All the things he's done in this industry. Like, all the
everything
greatness.
he's seen.
And he sat there and he watched somehow Palpatine returned on the screen.
Do you think that will, like, that's got to get parodied? But again,
How
that
do
is...
Shaun, I've already made a very clever cinematic joke.
Oh, do you want to make it again, just so we have a good, clean take of it, Conor?
How do you parody, Shaun?
Pretty good, actually. He did all right there.
How do you parody somehow Palpatine has returned when that line in itself has been parodied to death already?
Yeah, like, the internet laughs at Star Wars enough now. So I don't...
Like, Andor's the only thing everyone universally is like, oh, that's the best thing. Like, that's genuinely just the best.
But what? Like, I don't know. I don't know what this looks like. I don't think this comes out. To be honest with you,
Shaun, there's so much money being put into this. It's definitely coming out.
It's Amazon, isn't it? Is doing it?
Yeah.
It's probably going to come out. This could be Mel Brooks' last film, man.
I mean, Mel, come on, man.
Like, of all the legacy sequels, I just feel like we should leave some stuff alone. Make something that's not Spaceballs, but, like, is inspired by it. Don't just make Spaceballs.
That's a different movie, too. Shaun. It's, no, they're not going to do that, because Spaceballs has the name value. Yeah,
but maybe we try and create... Again, Conor, we used to be a country.
Is Spaceballs that big a name? I don't mean that a rude way. I mean, like, me and you are dorks, right? And we like movies. But if you asked your fucking cousin who goes to the cinema once a year and go, do you remember 1987 Spaceballs?
I think it is. It's a cult classic, I think is how you would call it. How much did... Spaceballs made $40 million at the box office.
Great. I mean, does that doesn't indicate quality though? So
not at all.
Yeah, but it's not great.
It's not great. I think it's going to be. I think this might get Zoolander 2'd or Dumb and Dumber 2'd.
I was literally going to say, is it going to get Zoolander 2'd?
Yeah. Can we have the same brain cell, man? Like, I just think it's sad.
Somebody just likes Spaceballs. And look, I understand that Spaceballs is a fun movie. But especially when you like Star Wars, Spaceballs is funny. But it's the Star Wars fandom is actually, I would say, a lot smaller now than it was even then.
Yeah.
In a weird way.
Because there's more of it. So
it's
like
bigger but less intense.
Yeah, whereas like in 87 Star Wars was everything.
Yeah, that was their lives. That's why people still talk about it now.
Yeah, and like that's why people really only like the first 3.
And that's why even now people are like, oh, it's nothing like the first trilogy. This is dog shit.
I was like, maybe we just let it go. Maybe we let it go for a while, you know?
So Spaceballs 2 coming out, we're all looking forward to, we're all very excited. Shaun, I'm out of cinematic journalistic viewpoints now, so I can just kind of go back to having one brain cell, so thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome.
Ted Lasso star reportedly set to lead Hercules movie from Marvel Studios.
Did we not know this already?
There's a Hercules movie coming out, and it's being developed by Marvel with Brett Goldstein set to reprise the role that he did in, I think it was the mid-credit scene of Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that movie that everyone loved.
Everyone loves that movie. So he's now a character based off a movie that everyone is like, oh, that's not great.
I mean, Hercules in the comics... Hercules in the comics is a lot how Thor behaves in the movies, like a lovable goofball kind of a thing.
Right.
Like Hercules is like a party boy and stuff like that.
So you're saying you want more Thor Love and Thunder vibes from a movie?
No, I'm saying you go the opposite way, and Hercules is just like this fucking angry prick of a dude, which Brett Goldstein does very well, I will say.
I think Brett Goldstein is a great Hercules. I think this is a crazy idea that is never going to work.
Yeah, I don't think... Also, just putting something in, like a movie out called a Hercules...
Like, it's not that I don't think anyone there is talented. Sometimes I just look at an idea and I'm like, oh, we're developing a Hercules movie. I'm like, lads, your Avengers movies need to be good. Right? Let's focus on them.
What if we just, I don't know, do a Spider-Man?
It's good to do a Hercules movie when you're killing it on all the big points, right? If all the big ones are killing it, you're like, well, this is why we get to do a Guardians of the Galaxy, because the Avengers movies, they're so good in 2014. So, but you've had a bit of a few years where it has to be, you've had Thunderbolts, right? I'll give you Thunderbolts. That was
pretty good.
A banger. But that's also just like a smaller team kind of thing. I just would say get the house in order. I get the house in order before I start working on Hercules.
What you're painting the fence before you fix the roof is what you're doing here. Like, one should take precedence over the other.
Now look, I say to Brett, you get that paycheck, right?
Get that bag, Brett.
Millions of dollars to be in this movie. But at the same time, will it ever come out? Who knows? The fact that we're getting a Hercules movie before Blade with Mahershala Ali, that's kind of insane. Let's just think about that for a second.
I'm trying to think of a world in which this works, and like I don't really care about a Hercules movie. I don't care about a Hercules story in Marvel.
Yeah,
like that side of Marvel is the stuff I'm least interested in, really.
Now look, so Hercules is somebody's favourite character.
That's fine, and that's more power to you. This is great news for you. Yes,
but I do think that maybe do a Spider-Man movie that's really good. And I mean, you've one coming up, and Tom's coming back, and you're probably going to have to transition to Miles Morales at some stage soon. So I get everybody working on that.
What if, do a Secret Wars as well? Make that really good.
Yeah, do Hercules in 2032.
Look, Hercules will happen. Brett Goldstein, he's sticking around for a bit.
Is it a TV show it's a movie now, but should it be a Disney Plus series?
I don't think most things should be Disney Plus series.
I this is my very kind way of saying I'm not going to watch it.
Yes. Like, I don't know, man. Like, if it is a series, it's one episode focus on Hercules, and then you can do other characters for the other episodes.
Yeah.
And then contractually they've been in a Marvel project. Now
Thor 5 is in development at Marvel Studios as well, so that is currently being locked in.
Has anyone had the highs and lows of the Thor franchise?
But the 5 should be excellent, because you follow the trend. 1, good. 2, bad. 3, really good. 4, terrible. 5, we should be swinging back around any day now.
It's true. Is that Fast and Furious logic you're applying to that?
It gets good at 5, yeah.
Yeah, it gets good at 5.
No, we see Fast and Furious 3 is Tokyo Drift, which I suppose technically that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good. I enjoy it. Yeah. Even numbered Thor movies are not good, it turns out.
Odd numbers excellent. Normally very good.
Because Thor rhymes with 4.
And he hates the number 4.
Hates the number 4. I am
and all 4. The visions of it.
I think we might see Hercules in Thor 5. I don't know if a Hercules solo film is the way to go.
I'm going to say so, by the way. Hercules, directed by Taika Waititi?
Nah. I've never seen someone lose all their good faith so quickly.
I think Taika might be brought back for Hercules.
how would they do that?
They won't let him have Thor 5, right? But he introduced Hercules. I can see them giving it to him.
Maybe. I don't know. What's Taika up to now at the minute, anyway?
Just chilling. Just chilling, living his life.
Taika Waititi. It's mad because he made Jojo Rabbit, but he also made Love and Thunder.
He made Jojo Rabbit and Ragnarok back to back.
Wild. He's doing a film called Clara and the Sun, a dystopian science fiction film.
There you go. Yeah. And also he's working on Star Wars. You remember that, Shaun? He has his own Star Wars.
Yeah, he's doing the Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah. Shaun, we're going to move on to our next piece of news. And I mean, this is something that has kind of caught my eye because, you know, one of my top 5 favourite movies, we've already mentioned it, The Incredibles, is getting a third movie.
Now, can you just remind the class of your thoughts on Incredibles 2, Conor?
Why does it happen? Why does it exist? I don't need it. Leave me alone.
Follow-up. Does Incredibles 3 change your mind?
Oh, I'm back in. Yes.
It gets good again. The odd numbers.
Pixar's Incredibles 3 is set to come in. It's going to be written by Brad Bird, who wrote the first 2 and directed the first 2, but he's not going to be directing the movie. They're bringing somebody else in to direct number 3.
Doesn't that fill you with confidence, though?
It does fill me with a lot of confidence. The Elemental and The Good Dinosaur director Peter Sohn has been brought in to direct The Incredibles 3.
Cool. I've not seen either of those films, I'll be honest. The Elemental was on the plane. I mean,
Elemental is pretty good. It's grand. It's good.
Made $1 bajillion, didn't it?
Like it's one of those where it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. But like, I mean,
someone in animation I was talking to told me that it's mostly it's like a demo for all of the effects they're able to render. Like the
as if they were just trying things out.
Yeah, and they just made a movie around it, and it just was massively successful.
So, I mean, I have lots of thoughts on this. Obviously, my main thought is no, stop, leave me alone. But that's normally my first thought. Because The Incredibles it was my favourite movie for like 25 years.
Until the Batman came out.
I literally watched that movie when I was, 10 or whatever, and I was like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. This is Pixar and The Incredibles.
Yeah. And it is really good, to be fair.
It's outrageous. It does not need to be that good. It's just one of the best made movies, in my opinion.
We did a review of it back in the day.
We did, and it's just me being like, isn't this scene great?
Yeah.
Isn't this scene great?
It's an hour of that.
Right? But then The Incredibles 2 gets announced, and I was like, that's weird. I don't know why you would do that, because Brad Bird specifically said he doesn't want to do a sequel unless he has a very specific thing in mind for a story. And there was just never any word that they were doing anything. And then suddenly Incredibles 2 comes out, and lo and behold, it's fine. Which is worse.
I think it could never compete with nostalgia either.
It couldn't, but also as a movie, I mean, it has all of the same qualities, but with less quality. Sorry, all of the same characters and all the same like strong things that are good, but also it carries over a lot of weaknesses that aren't in the first one. Just like it's with the weak villains, like it's not like a very good movie, I would say. Yeah,
it's got some fun character stuff in it.
Some good action scenes as well.
Good action scenes. That scene when she's like riding across the train on a bike and stuff like that.
That's pretty good.
Really, really good. But yeah, it does kind of just fall flat right at the end.
They copy and pasted the first movie and then just changed a few things.
Yeah. And there was also a big conspiracy, and also screens are bad. So then 3, what do you think happens? What are we doing?
I don't care.
Where do Violet and Dash end up in this one?
I couldn't give a shit.
Because superheroes are okay now in that universe, right?
To me, this is the same as Toy Story 5. Like, leave me alone. Just stop. Just please stop. Like, Toy Story got 3 fucking 10 out of 10 movies over, And then they did 4, and I was like, oh, lads, come on. Like, Jesus.
Now you know how it feels to be a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, brother.
You defend all of them equally.
Not equally. The first 3 I'll defend with my life.
Okay. 4 and then 5?
5 and then 4 for me,
5
personally.
and then 4.
5's a decent Barbosa story, you know?
I just don't understand why this exists, other than the fact that Pixar have kind of are just going to just redo all of their old movies that were good until we die.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely what's going to happen. Like, getting Incredibles 3 sounds more like a threat than hey, you should be excited for this.
I feel threatened by this.
It's like, you better watch this or we'll kill Brad Bird. The fact he's not directing, is that like a choice, or did the studio decide that? Or?
I think that's a real bad sign. That's normally, he was probably involved, and they said, do you want to do a third one? He's like, I don't want to do a third one because I don't have any good idea for it. And then he's writing it as well, but I assume he's probably one of multiple writers that they're bringing in.
But they can put Brad Bird's name on it.
And executive producer Brad Bird is on the credits, so then you're laughing.
Which, get that bag, Brad Bird. We're not saying that at all.
But I just think this is all signs that they are just churning this thing out for the sake of it.
Yeah. I don't think that's a secret that most movies are made for a profit.
You know what? We always talk about that, and then it's always like the one that is really close to you. You're like, come on. Come on.
What are we doing here?
Number two was Toy Story 4. So then this is Toy Story 5.
Yeah, unnecessary, complete cash in. Yeah. And probably kills the franchise for a few years.
Like what? Like, yeah, people just re-release the first one. I'd go see that again in the cinema.
Yeah, and they are doing that now. They're just re-releasing movies.
I'm going to ask you a question, Shaun.
Go ahead.
What's to do? Is Pixar is it's an interesting one, because when we were growing up, Pixar was like, that's quality. That's pure quality. Like, if it's Pixar, it's going to be good. And now,
they were a household name for quality kids films.
Yeah, and now I would say that they produce good to decent movies, and they're obviously not for us anymore, so we're not the general audience. But it's interesting, because even as an adult, I remember like my parents being like, "Oh, it's Pixar. It's going to be good." It's like,
we're going to see the new Pixar movie.
Yeah. So, I don't know, it's just, did they all come up with all the good ideas at that one lunchtime in 1992?
Maybe, I don't know. A lot of Pixar stuff I just don't watch. It's also, a lot of Pixar stuff is not marketed, and just kind of comes out every so often. I will say there was one series on Disney Plus called Win or Lose, that it's like 8 episodes, and it's the same story from a bunch of different viewpoints. That's quite fun. Okay. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the next Pixar movie that's coming out is.
Yeah, and they just seem to come and go, which is weird. Like, but then again, as I said, we're not the target audience, so maybe there's people that watch all of these. I just think that guys just, but then they do try some things, and then people on the internet who need to get a life say, there's too many brown people in this one. No. That does happen. I don't understand. Just leave The Incredibles alone. Brad, get out of there. I think this is a hostage situation. I think Brad needs to get the fuck out of there.
But where's he going to go? What's Brad Bird going to do?
Do Mission Impossible fucking 12.
Ah, yeah, you could do that, to be fair.
So also I want to talk just really quickly, did you read the headline, Matt Reeves still hasn't submitted the Batman 2 script, says James Gunn?
I did read that. My finger hovered over the WhatsApp on sending it to you, and I thought, nah, he's been through enough. No,
but I think this is a good sign, because hear me out.
Yeah.
He needs quality. Matt is not going to send it unless it's perfect. So it's maybe true. I think he probably just needs one final read through before he sends it. It's all done.
It's true. You know what? Because most writers, they'll do a good few drafts of a story. You know what that does? That wastes paper.
Exactly.
Matt, one draft. That's all he's going to do.
He's one draft, but he'll edit it multiple times. So he's actually doing a 6 draft thing, but with the first draft.
Yeah. He's condensing months and months of work into one solitary
He actually
draft.
wrote the first draft last year. And then he did the
filmed it
draft
as well, and then he decided, no good.
Second draft, third draft, fourth. Hasn't sent it on to anybody. He doesn't want anyone to see it until it's finished. It's very like Christopher Nolan with Oppenheimer, the scripts. Like, he's only releasing one page at a time to different actors, I assume.
He's wondering how early to include Barry Keoghan's Joker.
And in every draft, it gets further and further to the back, and now it's gone.
It's like, maybe we just kill him off screen.
So are we saying we're locked in? Still good?
We're not locked, more shackled, I would say.
Yeah. It was
the sinking ship that might be the Batman.
Apparently, it was meant to start production in March of 2025.
That's over a year ago, Connor.
Well, March of 2025 is only a few months ago, so he's only a few months late.
15 months late.
No, 2025.
Oh, sorry.
So
I'm living in the future.
It's only 4 months late.
I'm living in 2027. Guess what? Batman 2 still isn't out.
It's just entering production for 45.
He's submitting that draft.
Do you think 2027 goes around, James Gunn is like, Matt has sent 4 pages. He only has a fax machine and he sends 4 at a time.
And they all say something in the way.
Batman is sad. Something in the way place. Again.
His father, bad guy? Question mark?
Question mark? Joker, don't like his laugh. Barry? Sabrina. Thoughts?
Man-child.
Shaun, we're finishing off movie news this week with the Superman trailer. A brand new one, the final one, came out last week, and it showcased a lot of Superman's powers. We got to see a lot more footage in terms of the battle. I would say too much footage, showed us too many cool stuff. Leave us alone.
There's a lot of stuff that is holy shit, that's in it. There's a lot of that going on that I think would be served better just seeing it in this.
But
when you're
one thing that stood out to me was we are literally getting, I think, and I'm going to apologise to all the other actors, I think Nicholas Hoult is going to be the best Lex Luthor we've ever going to have.
When he's walking through the Fortress of Solitude, not giving a fuck.
And his narration of who are your parents? I'll kill them too.
Oh, I'll kill them. That reporter you're fucking friends with, everyone's going to die. Fuck you.
He
professional hater.
He fucking Lex Luthor is the greatest hater that's ever lived. And I think Nicholas Hoult just embodies that. Of just a shithouse.
Yeah. And I like this version of Lex Luthor as well. I like how he's not the jacked 50-year-old in a mech suit. He's just a real rich asshole who can do whatever he wants. And
it's going to be a really interesting line that they told with him, because he has to hate Superman, but how racist is he going to be? It's the question.
It's true. It is true. Will that come up? The bit where he's let's just glaze Nicholas Hoult for a second. Yeah. Where he's they're supporting him, they can die too.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Superman saving the little girl. It's I've heard people complain that Superman is too jokey in this.
Yeah.
But Superman is a big fucking idiot, right?
And
that's my Lex Luthor showing.
Dope. No, I think that we had our brains kind of slightly boiled by a really incredibly boring, bland Superman over the last decade. And more there's other iterations as well, but if you watch any of the 70s 80s Superman, he is a dork. He is and I think Superman with a personality is the best possible thing you can do, because people already you're already going to have those inbuilt haters that oh, Superman's bored, I don't want to watch Superman. And what's more boring than the god who also has no personality?
Yeah, he's just a blank slate who looks sad sometimes.
What, that? You're actually multiplying the boringness by doing that. The only way you kind of get around it is if you still have the god, but he's also a dork and just tried his best.
Yeah, because he was raised like a human is raised. He just has these powers.
Yeah,
he's just he's one of us. Like,
and that really helps. If he is, look, he is going to be quipping. It's James Gunn movie. There's going to be quips. That's just the way it is. And he's got, and I did read it, like, he's going to sound like Star-Lord sometimes, and he's going to be quipping some one-liners, and he's going to be always trying his best, or he's making little funny jokes under his breath. I have no problem with that at all, because, like, as long as he can have that side, and then simultaneously, we've seen the bits with the interview with Lois Lane, like, he also has, like, the heart side. That's the most important bit with Superman.
Yeah. He cares so much that he's frustrated that he can't do more.
Yeah, like, you can have that bit, and I think you can have all those sides of Superman, that, like, he can just, as long as he's not ever, like, mean, he's always just, he's normally always the butt of the joke, and I have no issue with that. I actually think that's kind of funny, that, like, Boy Scout Superman is always the butt of the joke, and he kind of goes along with it.
Yeah, and he's, like, gentle, innocent, young Superman.
And or else he's like making his, like, when he's like, I am trying my best. Like, I am really trying over here.
I'm doing really important stuff here.
Like, I think that's a really funny line, because he's not, like, actively insulting anyone. He's just, like, saying something funny to himself under his breath. Like, I am doing really important stuff here. Okay.
Trying, man. I'm doing my best. Mr. Terrific, by the way, looks terrific.
Looks fantastic. I really love Guy Gardner. I think he looks great. Nathan Fillion is going to kill it. He always does. He's the perfect casting for that role, and we've probably already discussed that before.
Do you think he dies in this movie?
Yes.
And that's how the ring gets passed on for the Lantern series.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, just once we're both clear on that.
I think it would be really funny if he died.
I think he's getting squashed. Like,
I think the kaiju stands on him, and then that's the end of Guy Gardner.
I think so. And people aren't going to like that, but Guy Gardner is the one you do that to.
But because, like, you do that, and then you have the Lanterns HBO series coming down the line with the other guys, that, like, you have the Jon Stewart, you have the Hal Jordan. Like, you could do that with Guy, because you could just get rid of him.
Yeah, and it's Nathan Fillion as well. Like, he's not expecting.
Nathan Fillion and James Gunn, obviously, like, they're friends for years. So, like, if he's like, I'll give you can be Green Lantern, but I kill you off. He's like, oh yeah, that'll be really funny. Let's do that. Yeah,
that's fine. Like, that's better than you get to be Green Lantern for 15 years.
Yes. I'm a massive fan of the shots. Obviously, the big shot from this trailer, I would say, is either the laser. He's laser blasting his way through all the stuff when he's flying. Him saving people is just keep showing us clips of him saving people. That's what you really need to nail down. And then
when the girl looks across and, like, he's holding up the statue and he, like, smiles at her.
So
like, it's
good.
Gonna be okay. Superman's here.
And I think the best scene we've already kind of seen, the first shot from the very first trailer when he dives in front of that girl and all the barrels are flying and he's, like, protecting her.
Yeah.
I think that's, like, the best version of him saving people. I think they show that all the time. Just keep showing that one clip being like, he saves people. Like, he dives in front of it, he takes the hit for them. That's Superman on screen.
Yeah, and, like, he's not afraid. Like, he knows what he's capable of. Which is why when he's hurt in the snow, I'm really interested to see how that happens.
Yeah, it's either the kaiju or it's Lex maybe shows up with some kryptonite and absolutely ruins him.
Either is possible. Also, I love that shot where he punches a guy's teeth out.
I mean, that's the shot that I was like, why are you showing me this? Stop showing me this. This is ridiculous that you're showing. What are you hiding if this is what you are showing me? Yeah,
like, because this movie's going to be like 2 hours and a bit. Like, there's a lot we still haven't seen.
So then the question becomes, Shaun, and we always ask, is, are you showing me the best bits, or are you showing me the second best bits in the trailer, and then there's going to be better bits in the movie?
Are you holding anything back?
Because if we go there and that's the scene from that movie, like, that's the shot from that scene, I'll be slightly disappointed, because then I'm like, oh, Jays, why did you show me that? That's just like Crypto and him are fighting, somebody breaks his teeth and it comes into the screen. Really close up camera shots.
Yeah.
Like, they're on him while he's flying. Like, you are literally there with him while he's flying around, which I quite like.
Yeah, and the flying effect looks great as well. I think it's the best it's ever looked.
The Snyder Superman had a thing, and even maybe the Brandon Routh one, where the camera was always catching up to them. Like, he's always going so quick, the camera's always like chasing after him, whereas this is like, we're right there with him.
Yeah, so you get, I think, more of a sense of how fast or how strong he is in that moment.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this. I think it's going to be really great. I think Nicholas Hoult is going to blow all of our socks off, and David Cornsway as Superman is, I mean, he's pulled
like,
from the comic book. Like,
he literally looks like Superman. It's insane.
And he talks and he looks like him.
And he's nice.
He looks like a nice man. Oh man, I cannot wait. Just a lot of cynicism. So we just need Luther's cynicism, Superman's optimism. Give me a 2-hour movie on that.
Yeah, that's all you need, and it's going to work. I have full faith in this movie, I think.
I think that's it for this week's movie news, Sean.
What a week. Do you want me to take us out, Connor?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We're back right now with an episode of Heroes for Hire Presents Weird News, and we will be back on Friday with an episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that is in the description. Shout outs, of course, go to Róisín and Baby Ben Palmer, Ryan Komatsu, Dozer, Enthusiast, Evanson, Owen Wilson, the real Owen Wilson, Let Me Date Your Mum, David Clarke, Dominic, Anna Sharkfoot Hjelmroos, Danny McLaughlin, Lordsmish, Michelle Browne, Frost currently riding a WWE hyperfixation wave, Ed Ball, Conor and Lorraine were right about the Eurovision, Russ still to be seen, apology tentatively accepted, but you're still on the watch list, Lawler Parfitt, Jackson Brueheim, Liz had a few too many on St. Paddy's Day and tipsily subscribed to the Patreon, Ciara Lawler, Judge Leahy, Mikeychairsnumber1fan Fan, Ruairi, Pete, larger, stronger and more powerful Jones. Jack Markham, Johnny Ray, Hunter Havard, the Texas Ironman, DonegalGeorge. Lisa wishes a happy birthday to the lads. Thank you, Lisa. Justin Bowman, Joe Reid, John NeSmith, the Doctor Darragh, Ted Sullivan, Jeff Scroger and Adam O. Thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. Could not keep the show going without all of you, so thank you very, very much. There is also the merch store, link below, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter is at Heroes for Hire Pod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Gentleman's Discussion Group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire Podcast. And the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
And I think that's about it, Connor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meehan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.